Real Housewives of Miami Season 7 Episode 1 Recap. Larsa and Lisa feud over Marcus Jordan. Welcome to the Real Housewives of Miami Season 7 Episode 1 Recap. The ladies are bringing the heat once again. Last time, the RHOM cast hashed out their differences at the reunion, and nearly everyone reached some resolution. Well, except for Alexia and Adriana. Here's what happened in RHOM Season 7 Episode 1. MIA back in action. Alexia was blindsided when her husband, Todd Nipola, moved out and filed for divorce. Finally, Julia and her wife, Martina Navratilova, added 2 baby boys to their family. And Larsa feuded with Lisa over her boyfriend, Jody Glidden, socializing with Larsa's ex, Marcus Jordan. Well, the season kicked off with a montage from Alexia's wedding to Todd Nipola. 2 years later, Todd is filing for divorce. Did anyone see this coming? In April 2024, a weepy Alexia sought comfort from Marisol and Julia. Alexia told Julia and Marisol that everything went sideways on Saturday, April 6. The night before, Todd told Alexia to pick what restaurant she wanted to go to, and they had fun. The next day, Alexia came home, and Todd had moved out with his daughter. Yikes. Plus, Todd had secured an apartment the month before and was slowly removing items from his home with Alexia. That is, low. Worst of all, he moved out in front of Alexia's son, Frankie Rosello. Not cool at all. When Julia asked if Todd was nice to her sons, Peter Rosello and Frankie, Alexia replied, "No, I actually feel like I let my son down, a lot," she said before bursting into tears. Then, days after abruptly leaving, Todd filed for divorce. Alexia received support and a group hug from all her co-stars at a later gathering. After a 5-month time jump, Marisol and Alexia were catching up. Most of all, Marisol wanted to know why Alexia is now dating Todd, and why she had to read about it in the press. Well, Alexia still loves the man. The heart wants what it wants, I guess. When Lisa arrived, she told the ladies that she was having an old Hollywood birthday party for her boyfriend Jody, and Larsa's ex, Marcus, isn't invited. It turns out that Larsa was furious because Lisa and Jody saw Marcus at a restaurant. Since Marcus was with Jody's friends, he joined them for dinner, while Lisa declined. She received a flurry of mean texts from Larsa, and Lisa was over it. In Larsa's mind, Lisa should have controlled her man and not let him be around Marcus. Both Marisol and Alexia backed Larsa and instructed Lisa to unfollow Marcus. Oh, the horror! Meanwhile, Larsa told her mother about the breakup with Marcus. Larsa explained that she saw a side of Marcus that didn't align with who I am as a person. Plus, she said that he always wanted to be the last person in the club. Even Larsa's kids urged her to break up with him. Larsa was very emotional, crying and saying that she just wanted to go to bed. She was embarrassed by the entire situation. In her confessional, she admitted that he sent her really bad messages and talked about her in the press. She considers him toxic, and that is why she was hurt and angry that Lisa didn't cut him out of her life. Now that Martina is cancer-free, she and Julia are adding 2 baby brothers to their family. The boys are 3 years old and 1.5 years old. When Julia was telling the ladies via a Zoom call, Verdi's phone number dropped. When Verdi asked for another link, Julia was busy. So Gary texted her a cold message saying congrats. Lately, Gertie's actions have shocked Julia. So she is re-evaluating their relationship. When Larsa and Alexia met up for drinks, Alexia shared that she was no longer single. Of course, Larsa cautioned Alexia to keep her eyes open after what Todd did. "I'm very upset how he did it. I mean, he's a coward," the Cuban Barbie admitted. Right now, Alexia is frightened to discuss the divorce with Todd. Someone please make this make sense. Then Larsa spilled the tea about Marcus. She explained that when they first started dating, a girl was snapped by the paparazzi going into his house. She regrets believing Marcus at the time. Plus, Larsa revealed that he was sending threatening text messages to her. In an alleged text that Larsa read aloud, Marcus supposedly wrote, "When you least expect it, I'm going to get you back, and I could care less about the impact it does to your family." Larsa stood up to him and blocked him. Meanwhile, Alexia reported that Lisa said that she can't stop Jody from being with his friends. Then, Larsa revealed that she testified under oath for Lisa in the messy situation with Lisa's ex-husband, Lenny Hochstein, and his fiancée, Katerina Mazeppa. So Lisa's lack of loyalty Amori to Jody's birthday party. After all, he has a title, Marcus, and is part of the French aristocracy. However, Julia has noticed that she doesn't hear from Adriana very much. She believes it is because of Adriana's new beau. However, that isn't the reason. There has been some distancing between us because she started to get closer to Marisol and Alexia, Adriana said in her confessional. After Gardy greeted Julia, she asked Martina how the boys were doing. Martina just gave her a weird, fake smile and nodded. Awkward. However, Gardy thought that the way the couple greeted her was odd. When Larsa arrived, Lisa went over to greet her. Larsa said that she texted and called Lisa, but she never responded. Lisa said that she didn't get the messages, then pivoted to not remembering. When Larsa asked if Lisa was drunk, she admitted that she wasn't headed to the ladies' room. Clever exit strategy. So, Larsa looped Jody into the conflict. Larsa asked him if he had seen what Marcus said about her in the press. He admitted that he hadn't. I think Jody likes my ex's last name more than he likes the person, Larsa said in her confessional. And I think he kisses asterisks a lot. Meanwhile, Gardy was feeling on the outs with the group. Gardy gave the rundown in her confessional. She couldn't get on the Zoom call with Julia and then had to attend a meeting. She followed up, and Julia told her that she would hear about the news in the press. Yikes, what is going on with this friend group? The Miami Heat has nothing on the latest explosive drama shaking up the sun-drenched shores of the Real Housewives of Miami. While couture bikinis, $2,000 brunches, and high-gloss gossip are nothing new for the 305's fiercest divas, no one saw this feud coming. In a twist straight out of a telenovela meets basketball wag fever dream, former BFFs Larsa Pippen and Lisa Hochstein are at war. And the spark? None other than Marcus Jordan, heir to basketball royalty and, until recently, Larsa's very public paramour. The drama ignited at a charity gala hosted in Coral Gables, where guests sipped frosé under chandeliers made of orchids. Larsa arrived late, as always, dressed in what can only be described as Balmain Barbie goes to war. Marcus was notably absent, sparking murmurs before the first course. But it wasn't just his absence that raised eyebrows. It was Lisa's presence at his side the previous weekend at a much more private affair. A luxury yacht party in Biscayne Bay, captured in suspiciously accidental paparazzi photos. Cue the fireworks. From Ride or Die to Ride or by, Larsa and Lisa, once closer than contour and highlighter, have shared everything, stylists, surgeons, even the occasional shady DM. But when it comes to men, especially her man, Larsa doesn't play. I've always had Lisa's back, but clearly she's been behind mine. Larsa confided in a confessional, dramatic lashes fluttering like butterfly wings. I mean, who parties with your best friend's man when you're not even invited? Lisa, for her part, didn't deny the yacht rendezvous, but she did have a different spin. I didn't invite Marcus, she shrugged, sitting poolside in Versus, sipping what she claimed was cucumber water but smelled suspiciously like vodka. We just ended up at the same party. Miami's small, honey. But in Miami, small doesn't mean innocent. Sources close to the Housewives allege that Marcus and Lisa were seen deep in conversation by the yacht's bar and that there was a lot of laughing, shoulder touching, and one very long whisper. While no one's confirming if lips met, it was enough for the Bravo cameras to catch Larsa throwing shade and a champagne flute in Lisa's direction the following night at CSPIS. Marcus speaks, sort of. In the days following the fallout, Marcus Jordan remained tight-lipped, issuing a cryptic Instagram story that read, "Loyalty is a lifestyle, not a hashtag." Interpretations varied. Some took it as a jab at Larsa for being too reactive, while others saw it as a subtle dig at Lisa. Either way, the damage was done. Tams caught up with him outside Prime 112, where he simply smiled and said, No comment, but I've got love for everyone. Which in Miami speak roughly translates to, yes, I did something shady, but I still want bottle service privileges at LIV. Housewives divided. The feud quickly divided the cast. Garrity and Julia sided with Lisa, claiming Larsa had too many rules in her relationships. Julia even quipped, Marcus is 17 years younger. Maybe he just wanted someone who didn't call him babe every 5 minutes.